investigations, that occurrence book. Mr. Speaker, police cells must not be overcrowded. Space per detainee must conform to minimum standards. The booking officer must inform the suspect of their basic rights. Communication must suspect all this. It is not the absence of the legal framework or policy directions that led to the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang, Mr. Speaker. It is blatant disregard of the law and the Constitution. And that's why we are not coming here to give excuses that it is in the absence of a policy direction from the ministry. No, Mr. Speaker, it is just blatant disregard. If you see how that gentleman was beaten, Mr. Speaker, the person who did it is an animal. And it calls upon all of us to say that that person must face justice, and it at the shortest time possible, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, there is absolutely no reason on my side, Mr. Speaker, to try to hide anything, Mr. Speaker, because that investigations, as I said earlier, covering other previous police officers have led to them being held into account. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mungatana asked the question of training of police officers on the questions of human rights. I must confirm here that there has been progressive growth in terms of training of police officers. However, Mr. Speaker, the truth is that because of lack of resources, Mr. Speaker, our police officers, last training they have is the day they were recruited, Mr. Speaker. Only those in the higher cadre, Mr. Speaker, and all who sometimes get to go to promotion get to be trained, but a large number of our police officers do not get to go through this promotion. And therefore, one of the things that the National Police Service has been pushing, and we will push with them, and I'll help them push this issue, is to make sure that budgetary allocation is provided, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that the police get money to continuous training and updating their knowledge on human rights. Mr. Speaker, it's also expected that when you punish perpetrators like this, Mr. Speaker, it was always expected that we would send a message to others. But like any other society, when you have a force of 120,000 police officers, you will find a small number of them, Mr. Speaker, violating the Constitution and the law. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni, and I suspect I've answered this question, whether I had any responsibility, supervisory responsibility as part of the Security Council, and I said yes. Mr. Speaker, the only answer I gave that I didn't have an eye on, and I am not supposed to do, is to meddle on specific investigation. If I do so, it will reach a stage where our cabinet secretary will be picking people politically on who's to be charged and who's not be charged, and that is what the Constitution tried to remove from us. Mr. Speaker, on the question of Senator Wambua, I think generally I've also answered by the statement I made, except to add that, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my friend Senator Wambua that I did demand answers from the Inspector General of Police. The only difference is that because I'm a cabinet secretary, I cannot demand in public. I cannot call a press conference to demand speedy investigation from the Inspector General or to request him to make sure that the people of Kenya get answers in good time. It is because we work together. I can give him a call and to tell him to speed up the process. And I think if you think that this is an issue that was reported on Sunday, and Mr. Speaker, today is Tuesday, the speed, Mr. Speaker, is commendable. And I believe that if the IPOA can move in the same speed, it should be in a few days, and I don't want to commit myself because they are independent. They should commit themselves to, in the shortest time possible, to make sure that that file is taken to the DPP office. I also agree with the sentiments from Senator Veronica Maina, Mr. Speaker, on the human rights, on the reform program, that it must continue. There is a team that is currently constituted in the ministry that is working on the reform program. I have also asked a team, my own team in my own office, to look at all the legislation on issues of abductions and extrajudicial killing, if there are also areas that we need to close the gap to make sure that at least internally from our police force, there is no possibility of any person involving themselves in that issue. And Mr. Speaker, if I get areas where it needs legislative reform, I will come back to this House for support. Mr. Speaker, I agree with her that in one way or another we must support Albert's family, and I hope that those who will be found culpable also will be held into account, Mr. Speaker, over and above us just supporting from as government, and also all of us who are sitting here, perhaps from our own calling and generosity. Mr. Speaker, there was also a suggestion from Senator Dulo that we may need to look at the use of the computer misuse law. Mr. Speaker, we were here, we debated this law, there were issues, it went to High Court, it went to Court of Appeal, where it is at the moment. Mr. Speaker, some of those issues, we can relook at them. Mr. Speaker, even the team that I've constituted in my office, I've told them to look at all the decisions of the courts, including Justice Ogola's rules, among others, Mr. Speaker, on how to handle a suspect, so that then we can see if we are getting the standing orders or we are coming up with new regulations that will make sure that our police service is a bit, Mr. Speaker, up to date. Mr. Speaker, I know that I have been asked whether I should run away from this responsibility. Mr. Speaker, for the 6 months I've been in this office, nearly 6 months I've been in this office, the effort and the energy I've put to revamp this ministry, Mr. Speaker, gives me hope that in the near future we will see the fruits of this responsibility. Mr. Speaker, I know that in moments like this, like those who went before me and others who have other responsibilities, Mr. Speaker, these are the moments that the duty to serve overrides, Mr. Speaker, the condemnation to throw in the towel. It is important as a leader, when you are faced with challenges, to provide solutions. If you become the kind of a leader that runs away from solutions, Mr. Speaker, then you miss that opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I've been asked by Mr. Nyutu and Senator Nyutu and Senator Kalwale, Mr. Speaker, the question of why, Mr. Speaker, I should not ask the DIG Langat to step aside. Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that, Mr. Speaker, this is an ongoing investigation. To the best of my knowledge so far, the information we only have is that the Deputy Inspector General of Police, despite being the DIG, took the step to report what he thought was an act of or a crime committed against him. And Mr. Speaker, went as low as reporting this to the DCI, and that investigation was done. And in the process of this investigation, somebody has died. Mr. Speaker, nobody has told me here whether the investigations lead to a particular result, whether it is to protect him or to exonerate him or to charge him, Mr. Speaker, is not my responsibility. That responsibility rests with independent police oversight authority if they find any culpability, Mr. Speaker. The rule of law demands from all of us, God forbid, should a senator here, at the rank of minority leader, for example, report a case to the police and the suspect is arrested and dies in custody, God forbid that the minority leader, someone will say he must take responsibility. In the same breath, Mr. Speaker, there must be a link between the crime and the individual. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I will ask IPOA, and as I said earlier, as the Cabinet Secretary, I will not play a role in pushing for a particular person to be charged or a particular person to be exonerated. The evidence must lead to the suspect, Mr. Speaker. And when we are going for anybody, it must be based on evidence. Otherwise, if we lose that rule of law, people will be taking advantage of such occasions to do the same. Mr. Speaker, ask yourself. I was here in this chamber, Mr. Speaker, when as I said, my friend Kimani was abducted by police officers and killed in Machakos. Mr. Speaker, I was here when the case of Pepe Pendo happened. I was here when Murkomen happened. Mr. Speaker, the process, even when people thought that there will be no justice, justice was found because the right process was followed by IPOA. I think we should support IPOA to do their job instead of getting ourselves to the direction where the House can direct who should be charged and who not be charged. Mr. Speaker, I was a bit worried. I know there is privilege in the chamber. I was a bit worried when senators divert to the attention of determining who is to be charged and who is not to be charged. Mr. Speaker, it violates the same Article 245 of the Constitution and affects the question of rule of law. What we should be demanding is that every person who will be found culpable, led by the evidence, must be brought to book, regardless of the position, regardless of his relationship with anybody. Mr. Speaker, and the last thing was, there was something to do with reforms again, and